Ethan, at 30 years old, with his perpetually disheveled brown hair and attentive eyes behind glasses, was the soul of a startup in San Francisco. He spent days and nights in the minimalist office, surrounded by bright screens and noisy keyboards. His current project, an innovative artificial intelligence software, was his passion and obsession. His partner, Michael, was the perfect contrast to Ethan. Charming, eloquent, with a smile that could gain anyone's trust. Together, they formed a dynamic duo. Ethan, the technical genius, and Michael, the master of public relations and negotiations. On a rainy Tuesday night, while most of the city slept, Ethan had a flash of genius. He discovered an algorithm that could triple the software's efficiency. With fingers dancing over the keyboard, he worked on the idea while the storm roared outside. The next morning, with deep, dark circles but a satisfied smile, Ethan shared the news with Michael. They talked about patents, potential investors, and the dream of revolutionizing the industry. Michael placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder, promising that together they would reach the top. Leaving the office, the streets of San Francisco were quiet. Ethan, walking under the streetlights, felt a mix of exhaustion and euphoria. He knew he was about to change not just his life, but the future of technology. On a sunny morning, Ethan received an encrypted email from an unknown sender. The email contained information about a recent financial transaction involving the company and a major technology corporation. Confused and curious, Ethan began to investigate. He accessed the company's financial records and discovered Michael's digital signature on a sale contract. The software he had developed, the project of his life, had been sold without his knowledge. With his heart pounding, Ethan confronted Michael in his office. The room, once a place of dreams and plans, now seemed cold and distant. Ethan, with a trembling but firm voice, questioned Michael about the betrayal. Michael, taken aback, tried to explain. He spoke of opportunities and tough decisions, but his words sounded hollow and calculated. He mentioned financial pressures and a deal they couldn't refuse. Ethan, feeling a mix of anger and disillusionment, left the office. Michael's words echoed in his mind, but all he could feel was the pain of betrayal. He knew this was the end of their partnership, and possibly their friendship. In the following days, Ethan took refuge in his small apartment overlooking the bay. The walls decorated with posters of codes and circuits now seemed a constant reminder of his betrayal. He distanced himself from friends and family, plunging into deep solitude. Ethan spent hours looking out the window, watching life continue while he felt paralyzed. The kitchen piled up with dirty dishes, and the sound of phone notifications was an annoying reminder of the outside world. His world had shrunk to the space between four walls. On a particularly cold night, Ethan found an old photo from his software engineering graduation. He remembered the enthusiasm and hope he felt at that time. A tear rolled down his face as he realized how much he had changed. Slowly, Ethan began to reconnect with his old passion. He turned on his computer and started coding again, but this time without expectations or pressures. It was just him and the lines of code, a world where he still had control. Over the weeks, Ethan realized he couldn't let the betrayal define his future. He started sketching ideas for a new project, something that could be truly his, a symbol of his resilience. Ethan, with newfound determination, rented a small office in an old building in the city. The space was modest, but enough to start anew. He decorated the place with plants and inspiring paintings, creating an environment that reflected his new journey. He worked tirelessly on his new software, an innovative cybersecurity system. Ethan applied the lessons learned from his previous project, but with a new perspective and maturity. During a networking event, Ethan presented a beta version of his project. The interest was immediate, with several people praising the originality and effectiveness of the software. Ethan felt a mix of pride and hope, a feeling he hadn't experienced in a long time. An angel investor, impressed with Ethan's work and his story of overcoming, approached with an investment proposal. He offered not just financial resources, but also guidance and support. With the investment secured, Ethan intensified development. He hired a small team focusing on young and innovative talents. Together, they worked not only on the software, but also on creating a unique company culture. Months passed, and Ethan's new software began to gain recognition in the market. Technology magazines highlighted its efficiency and innovation, placing Ethan again in the spotlight, this time as a successful solo entrepreneur. Ethan was invited to speak at lectures and conferences where he shared his journey and the challenges he faced. His story of overcoming and resilience inspired other entrepreneurs and programmers, making him a role model. The sales of the software skyrocketed, and large companies began to show interest. However, Ethan remained cautious, remembering the lessons of the past. He wanted to grow, but sustainably and ethically. One day, while walking through the neighborhood, Ethan encountered Michael by chance. The meeting was brief, with a nod and a bittersweet smile. Ethan realized he no longer held grudges, but he also had no desire to rekindle the friendship. Ethan's company expanded, moving to a larger office. He made sure to maintain an open and collaborative environment, encouraging creativity and mutual respect among his team. Ethan was proud not only of the business's success, but also of the culture he had created. With the success of the business, Ethan also began to invest in his personal growth. He enrolled in leadership and management courses, seeking to improve his skills beyond programming. Ethan wanted to be a leader who inspired his team, not just a boss. He also resumed hobbies he had set aside. On weekends, Ethan dedicated himself to photography, capturing the urban landscapes of San Francisco with a new perspective. This activity helped him relax and maintain balance. During one of these photography outings, Ethan met Clara, a graphic artist with a contagious smile and a love for technology. They quickly discovered many common interests and began a relationship based on mutual respect and admiration. Clara introduced Ethan to new experiences and perspectives. With her, Ethan learned to value the present moment and the importance of balancing work and personal life. He began to see the world not just as a place to achieve success, but also to build meaningful relationships. Ethan also reconnected with his family and old friends. He realized that despite Michael's betrayal, there were many other people in his life who supported and believed in him. This support network became a source of strength and happiness. 2 years passed since Ethan started his new project. His company was now a leader in cybersecurity, with clients around the world. Ethan was seen as a visionary in the industry, someone who turned a painful experience into a legacy of success. Ethan and Clara, now living together, balanced their careers with their personal life. They planned trips, explored new cultures, and learned from each other. Ethan had never felt so complete. Ethan's company launched a social responsibility initiative, investing in technological education for young people from underprivileged communities. Ethan firmly believed in the power of technology to change lives and wanted to give others the opportunity he had. At a technology conference, Ethan was honored for his contribution to the industry. In his speech, he talked about resilience, ethics, and the importance of never giving up on dreams. He dedicated his success to all those who supported him during tough times. The book ends with Ethan looking out over San Francisco from the terrace of his office. He reflects on his journey, grateful for the lessons learned. With Clara by his side and a bright future ahead, Ethan feels deep gratitude. He knew that each challenge he faced made him stronger and better prepared for what was to come. Chapter 8. After months of planning and discussion, Ethan and Clara decided to embark on an adventure together, opening a creative space that combined technology and art. The idea came from their conversations about the intersection of their worlds, the technical and the artistic. They found an old warehouse in the heart of San Francisco and began transforming it. The space, which they called Tech Art Hub, would be a place for workshops, exhibitions, and collaborations between technologists and artists. Ethan was excited about the possibility of exploring a different side of his passion for technology. While the Tech Art Hub was taking shape, Ethan also faced challenges in his company. A major technology corporation presented a buyout offer. Ethan pondered deeply, remembering his past with Michael. After much reflection, he decided to decline the offer, prioritizing the independence and values of his company. The Tech Art Hub was inaugurated with a big party, bringing together the technology and art community of San Francisco. Ethan and Clara presented their vision for the space, receiving support and admiration. The event was a success, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. The chapter ends with Ethan reflecting on his journey so far. He realized that each choice, each challenge, led him to a richer and more rewarding path. With Clara by his side and an exciting new project ahead, Ethan felt ready to face any new challenges life might bring.